It was Monday. Had a surprising start. I was supposed to be getting transportation from my father to my job this morning, but it was a whole conundrum in itself. So, moral of the story, I had I had to pay $20 cash out of my dad's wallet and drive his vehicle to and from work. And it kind of put me into perspective. Like, yeah, wow, round trip to and from my job is $20 in today's economy, considering, especially considering I live in a small town. But the travels to work was very safe, very clear. I start work at 10 a.m. and traffic's really light around that time, especially considering that I mainly drive a highway to my job. And when I got to work, it was a solid start, really solid start. Did the whole Romeo to Bravo start interior, and it all flowed from there. I found my flow of work to break, which is usually a fucking. I roam around two areas, both externally and internally, of the same two spots. That crunches me a good fucking 2 hours before I take every break to lunch to break. And it's a solid system I started. But I want to apply myself more in the active duties of the job aside from patrols. I have my notebook. I carry around my notebook that has all the notes of all the call outs to do for either trucks loading at the loading docks and unloading at the docks. So I know what to say. I just need to apply it when the moment arrives. But every time something happens, I am a half mile away, which I feel bad about. It gives me the idea that I subconsciously know exactly where not to be when something's happening, and I might be a subconscious sleazebag in that way. I don't know. It's just me. Okay. But fucking pass downs are where it gets me because it's just 10 minutes, 10 to 20 minutes sitting in the same spot. And all for it to just end up being the swing shift lead to say, hey, I guess I have this to say to you guys. And then, like, maybe 5 minutes of silence of us waiting to hear him say, you're all relieved to your duties. Instead, the guy just sat there looking at his computer and then finally said, well, don't you all start at the same time. Meanwhile, the guy just entered the room on the negative vibe. As soon as he entered the room after the day shift leave day, it's a lot to process. As soon as the day shift lead left the room and we were waiting for the swing shift lead to enter the vicinity, as soon as he entered the vicinity, dead silence. The guy was not in the mood, and we all felt that. And I was the only one to mention, like, I love how silent it got when he entered the room. And everyone was like, yeah. The guy was he couldn't even look at our faces and just said, there's a dirt patch in the road. I guess there's that to worry about. And then waited the 5 minutes to say, don't all start at the same time. And I literally said, Jesus fucking Christ. Because it took that long for him to spout that out. I mean, come on, we're used to leads saying, like, go cause chaos around the facility. But you know what I mean. Don't really do that. Just do your job. And this guy just spouts out with that. Come on. And, I spout out my Jesus fucking Christ finally. And then there's another guy, maybe four quadruple time the age, saying like, "Ah, man, we gotta work." And I'm sitting here like, "Oh," I'm sitting here badging a door, opening it, and say, "Let's do it into it." And this guy, he really says, "Ah, geez, work." All we do is fucking walk around and make phone calls to everyone inside the facility. Come the fuck on. Especially during like swing shift hours. There's nothing going on. No trucks to be unloaded at the docks. No escorts to be pursued. Come on. Then even after we got relieved, the guy was just walking around with a negative attitude. Like, come the fuck on. We're just fucking walking around scanning shit up and down. And fucking doing our job, which isn't a lot. But it's also enough. Because all that means is that we work around safe employees with stable minds. Because our job is reliant on the client, to say the least. All that means is we're not working with terrorists. And that gives me a good feeling. Even if they have to, even if the so called clients are out and about on break saying, "Oh, security doesn't do anything." Well, yeah, it's no thanks to you. You good fucking Samaritans, huh? You really want to talk shit about us when it's really you that's not giving us a shit to do? You know what I mean. But because of that, it was a very good Monday. Everyone was feeling case of the Mondays, and I was the one to like vibe out and say when everyone was asking me, "How are we feeling? How are we feeling today?" And I'd say decent because I'm trying to fall into the habit of saying decent. Because every time I say good, I end up being a fucking being in the dumpster emotionally for the second half of the day, which would be about now. So this that you're seeing right now is a repercussion of me saying decent, me not allowing myself to be too happy throughout the first half of the day, or most of the day, since now it's fucking 7 p.m., 1 hour after my shift, and I've just arrived home maybe 30 minutes ago, 30 to 20. I'm not too confident in my estimates. Fucking shit. More of the story. It was a good Monday. Slight rant there. I'm just doing this so I have that reassurance of like, okay, I can look back at this and say I said that, and this is my voice that I'm currently listening to and currently outletting. Fucking yeah, huh? I don't know what next to say aside from as soon as I got home, I had a canvas on a easel that I had to basically put in the garage and save it for the weekend because I guess I'm gonna be a weekend warrior in my artistic ventures. Ooh. Because usually I let the sunlight gauge on where I apply my paint. Like, let's say, okay, the sun is that direction. I point the easel and canvas that way, and then I just color in the lighter parts that I see, which means ultimately that's where I painted, and there's the least amount of paint. It's like a reverse coloring book. That's what you see going on right here, essentially. Fuck. And after that, circles around to right now, where I'm gonna get ready to shower and eat. I, 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 I did some. I'm a hoarder when it comes to food, just to say the least, in regards to my job. which I'm not gonna say any details because that could be reflected on me. That could be reflected later on, and there could be some repercussions there. So I'm a fiend for food and energy drinks, to say the least. Uh, so I'm gonna make myself some lamb chops, or no, 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 fucking. Why do I keep saying lamb when I'm eating fucking pork? I'm a fiend for pork. That's a fact. It's high in protein, high in fat, but I don't give a fuck. I'm so glad I'm recording this, to say the least. I'm also listening to music while I'm saying this, so it gives me a rhythm of words. Hmm. But yeah, ultimately, I know I said I'm trying to get into the habit of saying decent, but decent is my good. So I'm gonna say I had a good day, a good Monday, at work, and all falling back to at home. Even though the vehicle situation is still kind of fucky, all considering. I'll open up more about that later, but I'm at my 10 minutes, and I'll let it be there, be at that. So yeah, goodbye.